expecting, you know, a lot of people in that season. We got that taste of fall.
Yes.
So if you were looking to go apple picking this season, you definitely want to listen up. How do you like these apples? Because apple season is early, and apple farmers say that now is the perfect time to pick.
That's right. And if anybody knows how to read apples, it's Phillips Orchards in Ciderville, because they're getting ready for their 173rd season. Let's take a look.
Well, I guess I grew up with it. It was a part of my life from the very beginning, and I always enjoyed the fall, especially because it was harvest time, and I liked the apples and I liked the cider. I enjoyed pressing cider when I was a kid. As my dad started getting older, he kind of started talking to me about, is this something you're going to want to do? You're going to have to decide, you know, at some point. And it was something that I felt like I didn't want to let go of.
Farmer Brian Phillips will be the first to tell you that he's exactly where he's meant to be. He was born here, and so were the Phillips before him. His family has been growing apples on this land for 172 years.
1852 is when our farm started. I think his third or fourth great-grandfather, you know, is the man who settled the farm, and he was one of the first, like, 4 white settlers in Gratiot County.
Brian's talking about Palmer Phillips, the man who settled here along the Maple River before the Civil War. His original farm had cows, sheep, chickens, and a small apple orchard. Today, if you look out to the orchard, you can't see where it ends. And it's hard not to wonder what Palmer Phillips might think if he saw it today.
This land we're standing on right now, this is part of the very original part of the farm. It's pretty amazing to think of all the things they had to do back then to, like, clear the fields, and you didn't even have tractors back then. This is all with horses, and so yeah, it was amazing. When I think back of all the years and all the people who were involved to get it to where it is today.
The old farmhouse is still here, along with the next generation of apple innovation and flavor.
We grow 34 different kinds of apples here. Some of the ones that everyone knows, Gala, Honeycrisp, Fuji, probably everybody sees those in the grocery store. But we also grow apples that you'll never find in a grocery store, like Cortland's or Northern Spy. So there are, you know, a bunch of different apples.
Farmer Brian Phillips says every apple season comes by fast, especially when it arrives 2 weeks early, like it did this year.
We got an early spring start. Sometimes when that happens, we'll get some cool weather and it'll slow it back down, but we never did this year, so we'll probably be done picking in the middle of October rather than the end of October. So some people like to have that chance to come pick it themselves right off the tree. So that's basically now is when they should be planning. In here, it's where we're pressing cider.
The farm uses a traditional rack and cloth cider press to make their cider. It's a lot of manual labor, but Brian says it produces the best quality cider. Nothing is added and nothing is taken away. The apples are freshly juiced and kept cold. The farm presses cider 6 to 8 months out of the year. When they're not pressing cider, they're selling their product. Unlike how it was in 1852, apples can be kept fresh for much longer.
At the back there, we won't even pull those out until, you know, maybe February.
There have been a lot of changes on the farm since 1852. With each generation, there's changes in technology and changes in Phillips too. Farmer Brian Phillips has had some big boots to fill carrying the farm's future.
You get a relationship with these trees because these trees we're standing by are already 30 years old. So they've been with me a long time already, and it's almost like every tree you plant is for your lifetime and the people who are going to come on beyond you.
And as Farmer Brian Phillips leads the farm into its 173rd season, he looks back at his farm story. A story he says he's not done writing.
I just wanted to keep it going, so I'm really happy I did because it feels like it's what I was supposed to do.
I really like that, and I think that's so true. He's impacted the community for so long, so I'm glad that he's able to do that, and I know what I'm doing this weekend.
But 34 different types of apples.
I know, it's hard to choose from, but so you can find Phillips Orchard and Cider Mill hours all online if you want to head there and pick those apples this weekend, because it sounds like it's going fast.
I have no trouble picking one of each, but
There you
thank
go.
you so much, Claudia.
All right, well, we are just getting started.